Ella no quiere flores ni tarjeticas de colores. Ella es práctica, chica, no quiere que la controlen. No le gustan las pasiones. Ella es práctica, chica, ella no quiere flores ni tarjeticas de colores. Ella es práctica, chica, no quiere que la controlen. No le gustan las pasiones. Ella es práctica, chica, práctica. Acepta invitaciones donde pierde el control. Le gusta proponer, le gusta la interacción. Pasarla bien, bien, sin ninguna presión, sin ninguna presión.
Y ella no acepta invitaciones donde pierde el control. Le gusta proponer, le gusta la interacción. Pasarla bien, bien, sin ninguna presión, sin ninguna presión.
Ella no quiere flores ni tarjeticas de colores. Ella es práctica, chica, no quiere que la controlen. No le gustan las pasiones. Ella es práctica, chica, ella no quiere flores ni tarjeticas de colores. Ella es práctica, chica, no quiere que la controlen. No le gustan las pasiones. Ella es práctica, chica, práctica.
Sola en su auto, llega a la disco y se compra un trago. Lo paga de inmediato y baila sin pena. Ella no tiene problema cuando el saca-taca-fuga suena.
Sola sale en su auto, llega a la disco y se pide un trago. Lo paga de inmediato y baila sin pena. Ella no tiene problema cuando el saca-taca-fuga suena.
Y ella no acepta invitaciones donde pierde el control. Le gusta proponer, le gusta la interacción. Pasarla bien, bien, sin ninguna presión, sin ninguna presión.
Y ella no acepta invitaciones donde pierde el control. Le gusta proponer, le gusta la interacción. Pasarla bien, bien, sin ninguna presión, sin ninguna presión.
Ella no quiere flores ni tarjeticas de colores. Ella es práctica, chica, no quiere que la controlen. No le gustan las pasiones. Ella es práctica, chica, ella no quiere flores ni tarjeticas de colores. Ella es práctica, chica, no quiere que la controlen. No le gustan las pasiones. Ella es práctica, chica, práctica.
Morning, guys. Another major fear we have in our lives is the fear of old age or a fear of getting old. This is one that is really tough to overcome. It's a real tough one to control. But I want to share with you one line from Napoleon Hill, which I read and listened to over and over, and has helped me so much because this is what the thought that I replace when I get that negative thought that I'm getting old. And the thought is this: you're not getting old. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you are actually gaining wisdom and understanding. So when someone says, oh, you're over 40 or 50 or whatever it is, you're getting old. Don't say that you're getting old. Say that you are blessed to have reached the age of wisdom and understanding. That was the line, actually. That's the thing that I hold on to each and every day. So you are gaining wisdom and understanding, and you are blessed, and feel grateful for that every moment. Have a great day, everyone.
Rise and shine, it's espresso time. And in honor of the recent one-on-one interview I did with the legend Tom Bilyeu, enjoy one of these episodes on him from our vault.
I get this question so much you can't imagine. How do I find my passion? The good news is, passion is not something that's handed to you. It is not a lightning bolt moment. It's another nice, simple mathematical equation. First of all, you need to identify your areas of interest. Everybody's interested in something. And I find the big problem is people stop themselves because they say, yeah, well, the thing that I'm interested in couldn't possibly be a business. So let's take video games back in the 80s. Back when everybody thought that video games were a joke, you're ruining your brain, it's like intellectual candy, kids get off the computer, go play outside, Nintendo's a joke, it's ridiculous. And then we have an entire industry now that's born up around video games that has made untold numbers of millionaires. I met one of the founders of Riot Games that created League of Legends. The guy's like, I don't know, 31, maybe younger. I mean, just crazy. They do $1 billion in revenue from microtransactions of things that are not essential to play the game. The game is totally free to play. You don't need to pay for anything. Imagine that for a second. You're in an industry where they don't need to buy anything to get full use of your game, and yet you do over $1 billion in revenue because they said, I love this. I like being around games. I like the competition of it. I think it's amazing. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to be inventive. I'm going to look for areas to add value. And so they have. And more people now watch esports, the finale of League of Legends, than watch the finales, I think, of all major sports combined. It's crazy. They fill arenas.
Hey, everybody, it's Tony Robbins. Listen, 2022 is coming quick. Are you ready? Do you have the mindset?
It's absolutely bonkers. But that was somebody who said, this is something I love. It's something I want to be around. It is an area of interest. And I don't care if other people tell me that it can't be a business. It's what I want to be around. With enough ingenuity and enough forethought into what actually can be a business, because some things can't, you can really do something with something that's an interest. All right, so an interest, you need to gain mastery in it. During the process of gaining mastery, you'll find out whether you actually like that thing enough to become great at it. It is my belief, whatever it is you set out to do as a business, there should be one litmus test. You should be able to ask and affirmatively answer the following question. Do I want to know more about this than anyone else in the world? Don't get into something unless you plan to be the best. That's my piece of advice. I know that's not going to sit well with everybody. But if you want to have the passion to make something big, to make big change, it's got to be something that you believe in beyond reasonable doubt. It's got to be something you've just got to make happen. So ask yourself, do I want to know more about this than anyone else? Because you're going to have to get better at it than anyone else if you want to be excellent and deliver on the promise. All right, interest over time plus mastery equals passion. That's how you find your passion.
I'm going to teach you the entrepreneur success formula. This is the formula. It's very simple. It's easy to apply, that when you actually execute it, it will change the course of your life and your business. The entrepreneur success formula. Are you ready? You need to, if you want to have success as an entrepreneur, combine what you love doing with what brings value to other people. People mess this up. What you love doing with what brings value to other people. In that intersection is your next great, genius, amazing business idea. Here's what most people do. Most people just pick one. Most people either pick what they love doing, but they can't figure out how to bring value to other people, so you've got a hobby. If you love doing something, it just fills you up, it's amazing, but it never brings value to other people, then you never get paid. You've got a really fulfilling hobby. And that could be great. And your hobby can be something you do in the evenings and weekends, and it fills up your soul. but you'll never turn that into a business if you don't figure out how to bring value to other people. So you're stuck always having to have a job or go work for somebody else while you're doing your hobby on the weekends, evenings, on the side, etc. So those are the people who just chase what they love doing, right? They chase your passion. Amazing. There's other people, a lot of entrepreneurs who just go after the money. Just try to bring value. Just go after opportunity, right? That's the only focus. Like, I'll do whatever it takes. I need to be a millionaire by the time I'm X years old. I'll do whatever it takes, but you won't. You will not do whatever it takes, because as soon as it gets hard, you're going to lose. And the problem is you're going up against people who love it. Pick whatever industry. You open up a magazine or website. It shows you the hottest businesses for next year. These are the industries that will take off, and you have to get into it. It's like, oh, wow, that's hot. I'm going to go off and do those things. If you don't absolutely love it, right? This part here, if you don't actually love it, what you love doing, what it brings value to other people, if you don't absolutely love it, you're going to lose because you're going up against people who do love it. If it's just a strategy for you, but for other people, they love it, you're going to lose every time. You're going to lose every time. Because while you're counting the hours and while you're trying to figure out, oh my gosh, when is this going to pay off? You're going up against people who aren't even tracking it, who get lost in it, who 12 hours later, they're still doing the thing because they love it so much and they can't believe that, like, where is the time gone? So it has to be in that combination. So many entrepreneurs start a business because they think they're gonna make a lot of money and they end up going broke. And it wasn't because the idea was bad. The idea could have been fantastic. The problem was you didn't love it enough. You didn't care about it enough. It was just a strategy. It was just an opportunity for you instead of being actually something that you love. So the entrepreneur success formula, you start with doing what you love, and then you figure out how to bring value to other people doing it. Another way I like to explain it is your heart and your head. So you make the big decisions in life with your heart and the small ones with your head. What you work on, what you do, what you're spending your time on day in, day out has to be heart driven. It's got to be something that fills you up with so much joy. But then your head needs to be part of the equation too, to say, okay, heart, that's great that you love doing this thing, but how are we going to make money? How are we going to bring value to other people? So you make the big decisions with your heart, and then you use your head to figure out how to make it actually practical. So you're not just daydreaming constantly in la la land, we're actually turning it into something that can have a massive impact on the world. The entrepreneur success formula. You got to do what you love and figure out a way to bring value to other people doing it. When I started making my YouTube channel, I never thought I was going to make money. I did it because I love doing it. I did it because I wanted visual content. I'm a visual learner. I struggled in reading books. It took me a long time. When I read a book, unless it's really short chapters and really spaced out well, I would find myself reading 5 pages of the book and then realizing I read 5 pages and I have no idea what I just read. So I had to go back and read those 5 pages again. I would look how long a chapter was and see, oh my gosh, it's 40 pages. This chapter is going to kill me. I read because I needed to, because I wanted knowledge, but it was a really inefficient way for me to learn. I'm a visual learner. I like to see things. And so I said, well, why hasn't somebody made this? And I wanted to be around successful, famous entrepreneurs because I didn't have anybody in my life who had achieved what I wanted to achieve. And so that was the root of why I started making my videos and my content. And before YouTube, I had my website, which was similar idea of sharing the stories of famous entrepreneurs and what you can learn from their success. So I did it for myself and then figured out how can I do this so that I can make money doing it, so that I can do this as my full-time thing, so that I can recruit a team of people to help me do this. So now we've got a team of people who are all building these channels with me so I can create even more impact and make even more videos. The combination led first with what I love doing. I want to create content that speaks to 19-year-old Evan who was struggling, who doesn't know what to do, who was making $300 a month, was broke, who wanted to do something big, but had very little belief in himself and didn't have a plan for what to do next. I still make my videos for 19-year-old Evan. And I had to figure out a way to turn it into a profitable business so that I can have a bigger reach and be able to do this full-time plus and have a team to help me do it. Entrepreneur success formula, what you love doing with what brings value to other people. Okay, so how do we do it? How do we start to figure out that process? That's an easy formula, but underneath it, let's dive a little deeper to give you even more value. Step number 1 is embrace the and. Most people are thinking or. Most people are thinking, do I do this or do I do this? Do I do this business or do this business? If you think about your passions and your interests, right? What do you love doing? What's your heart-centered thing that you could do all day? You probably have a couple things and you feel like you have to pick. This is the mistake. People feel like you have to pick. You don't have to pick. The actual selection is in doing both of those things combined. A lot of people have said some amazing things of me. It's very humbling. I think of Ed Milet and Gary Vee, where Gary Vee called me the DJ that likes to watch so much content and then spin it to inspire people. And Ed Milet said that I'm the modern day Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill is the biggest influence of all time in personal development, and I'm the modern day Napoleon Hill. First off, that's extremely humbling, but why are they saying that? This is how I'm unique, because I love consuming all of this stuff and I love spinning it and mixing it up, as well as adding my own message to things. This is how I'm different. There's a lot of people who are just sharing their message, and there's a lot of people who are also mixing things together, but there's nobody who's really mixing things together and sharing their own message, right? So instead of looking at those two things as different, right? Like I have to pick, I got to pick this or this. Like I'm going to combine them, and that's how I'm going to be unique. So think about your different interests. What do you love doing? What are your top 2-3 things that you can get lost in, and they feel completely different? Your genius is going to be in actually mixing those things together in a way that's never been done before, and then using that to bring value to people. Stop thinking or, and instead embrace the and. Step number 2 is try to get as close to customers as possible. So it's great to be making, it's great to be creating, it's great to be, imagineering of where you could go. When you start to solve the problem for yourself, that's a great step 1, because there's probably a lot of people who currently are who you used to be, and seeing how you solved it for yourself, sharing the videos. I need the videos for myself, and then I share them, and it helps other people, right? So I solve the problem for me first, you solve the problem for you first, and know there's lots of people like you. But you need to start talking to customers. You need to start getting their feedback. You need to start seeing what they interact with. And that can help guide a lot of your future product or service creation. You need to get out of just sitting by yourself on your couch researching and into actually talking to people. So a quick example from my channel, the whole top 10 rules for success thing came because I just made one video on Kanye West. That's why he's on the wall behind me. I made one video on him, and then people started requesting more. Hey, can you do Dame Dash? Hey, can you do Jay-Z? Hey, can you do Jeff Bezos? Hey, can you do Steve Jobs? Hey, can you do these people? And it's like, well, that's a cool idea. Sure, why not? I could do that. I never thought of it as being a whole series. I just wanted to give a tribute to Kanye West, and it was a one-off video. And then in the videos that people were suggesting, can you do this person, this person, this person, this person? I still get final say. We ended up having over 2,000 different requests for people to profile. I still get final say as to who we profile, because I have to feel connected to the message. And when I'm pulling out the content, if we're doing Kanye West or Steve Jobs, it's always something positive. It's always through the lens of belief, because that's what I want to put out. I don't want to put out Kanye West's biggest attacks or insults or negativity. I want to put out negativity in the world. I could easily done top 10 Kanye West stupidest things you've ever done. I'm not interested in putting that out. So it's that combination of what people are asking for. Hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? Plus what I love doing, right? What I want to put my stake in the ground to say, I made this, right? This is the contribution that I'm trying to make to the world. Back to the entrepreneur success formula, right? What you love doing with what brings value to other people. So how to figure out what brings value to other people? You have to get as close to the customer as possible. Understand their business, understand what they're going through, understand their mindset. You solving the problem for yourself is a good first step. And then going into, okay, what are you struggling with? So number 1 is embrace the end. Number 2 is get as close as possible to the customer. And then number 3 is solve a problem. Solve a problem. As you're talking to customers, as you're talking to people who will be using your product or your service, who will be engaging with your content, as you're talking to these people, what is the problem that they're facing? What is the struggle? What is the challenge that they're facing? And then help them accomplish it. If I apply it to myself and the YouTube channels for context, one of the biggest challenges I think people have is a very poor environment. You've got people in your life who keep you where you are. Some people may be telling you that you can't do things. That's the worst case scenario. Some people might be cheering you on, but they can't guide you. You're not inspired by them. The people around you are not inspiring enough for you. And that's why you're stuck, because the environment is keeping you small. Where if you are around higher achievers, if you're around Tom Bilyeu and Oprah Winfrey and Elon Musk and these people, they would pull you to be better. And so that's the biggest problem that I see the entrepreneurs that I love helping. You know you're capable of more. You've got this big mission inside you. You've got the heart and the care and the willingness to serve. You've got everything, but you're not being pulled forward by anybody. And so I want to try to create that through content, because you may not be able to hang out with Tom Bilyeu and Elon Musk and Oprah Winfrey, but every day on YouTube, you can hang out with Tom Bilyeu, Elon Musk, and Oprah Winfrey from the content that I'm going to make and create, right? So that's the problem that I'm trying to solve. And I get that because it was me who struggled with it, but also the people that I see who I connect with, who are watching the videos, they're leaving feedback for me. And I'm talking to them and I realize, you've got everything. You've got everything. You've got everything. You're just missing that environment to push you forward. So that's the problem that I solve. What is the problem that you solve? When you can combine your passions, right? Step number one, you're combining your passions. Step number two is we're talking to customers, people who are going to use potentially what we can create. And then you're understanding what their problem is and you solve it for them. That's how we start to build a successful business. Back to the entrepreneur success formula. If you get this formula, if you apply it, it's simple, it's basic, and it's one of the most powerful things you can ever do. And it's one of the biggest reasons why entrepreneurs don't win, despite having the heart and the care and the service. You have to combine the thing that you love doing with all your heart with something that brings value to other people. Bring those things together, and you're onto your next successful business career. Good luck. Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
Always being honest with who you
I like stunning, I like shining, I like $1 million deals. Where's my pen? I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the Tula. I put rocks all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance. I like proving wrong. I do what they say I can't. They call me Cardi, Cardi, banging body, spicy mommy, hot tamale, hotter than a Somali. Go, Ferrari, hop up the stoop, jump in the coupe. Big dip on top of the roof, flexing on as hard as I can. Eating halal, driving a lamb. So that bitch, I'm sorry though. Got my coins like Mario. Yeah, they call me Cardi B. I run this shit like cardio. I'm in district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang, 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 gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome. What's his name? I need the dollars. Beat it up like piñata. Turn the drops, close the curtains. Bad chicks make you nervous.
Chambean, chambean, pero no jalan. Tú compras todas las Jolambo, a mí me las regalan. I spend in the club, what you have in the bank. This is the new religion bank, el Latino gang. Yeah, está toda servieta, pero es que en el closet tengo mucha grasa. Ya mudé la Gucci pa' dentro de casa, yeah. A ti no te conocen ni en plaza. El diablo me llama, pero Jesucristo me abraza. Guerrero como Eddie, que viva la raza, yeah. Me gustan boricua, me gustan cubana. Me gusta el acento de la colombiana. Como me ve la dominicana. Lo rico que me chingue la venezolana. Andamos activos, perico, pim, pim. Billetes de 100 en el maletín. Que retumbe el bajo y Valentín, yeah. Aquí prohibida mal, dile charitín. Que per pico le tengo claritín. Yo llego a la disco y se forma el motín.
Diamond district in the jam. Certified, you know I'm gang, 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 gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name? I need the dollars. So just beat it up like piñata. Tell the job, close the curtains. That chick make you nervous.
Como Celia Cruz tengo el azúcar. Tú que va medio y se fue de pecho como Ginny Luca. Te vamos a tumbar la peluca y arranca pa'l carajo. Que a ti no te va a pasar la boca. Mi Terry Valenciaga me reciben en la entrada. Sí, like I'm Lady Gaga. Y no te me hagas, que en cover de Billboard tú has visto mi cara. No salgo de tu mente, donde quiera que viajes, he escuchado mi gente. Ya no soy high, soy como el testa rosa. Soy el que se la vive y también el que la goza. Cosa, es la cosa, mami es la cosa. El que mira sufre y el que toca goza. I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that. Diamond district in the jam. Certified, you know I'm gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name?
Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, breathing in through our noses and out through our mouths. Feeling the power of you controlling your breathing. Knowing, remembering, it's the same power we use to control our thinking. Now use that power. Use your determination to see in your mind today your best effort in all the exercises, stretches, movements we do here together. See it in your mind right now. See yourself doing the best you can, giving the best effort you've ever done for anything. Maybe you want to visualize the last time we did these exercises and stretches together. Go there and think right now about what you could do better or differently this time. It's the same process we use to grow our minds and grow the strength and health of our bodies and energy. Alright, good morning, determination. How's everyone today? Another day in the gym of life. Wherever you are, if you're at home, outdoors, indoors, let's go. Let's make this the best gym period ever. Here we go. All right, when I say go, we're gonna start jogging on the spot. But for now, if you would like, just to slowly warm up, you can walk on the spot or walk side to side, okay? So walking on the spot first or side to side, wherever you are. When I say go, we'll start jogging. Ready, and go. Again, remembering our breathing. Always controlling our breathing as best we can. And focusing on the movement of our body right now. The awareness of what we're doing. The awareness of being here together right now. United in the gym of life, always, wherever we are. Keep going, everyone, keep going. A few more seconds to warm up our bodies. Feel the power of your heart beating faster. Your breathing wanting to change and go faster, but you get to control that breathing. Always the way we control our thoughts. And stop. All right, everyone, walking. Just going to walk side to side here. You can do the same. Remember to always move safely within the space that you have. Continue to take deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel your heart, your breathing, all coming back to the previous state before we started jogging. All right, everyone, and let's start doing our stretches. Let's do shoulder rolls first. Here we go. Roll the shoulders forward 10 times. Big shoulder rolls all the way up to your ears as much as possible and all the way around. Let's do 10 forward and then 10 backwards. Feeling that tension and then that release as we come around. All right, let's go backwards. Feeling the joy of being able to move our bodies to release some of that tension, maybe that tightness we might have. So important that we work on our bodies and our minds every day. As we work on one, we work on the other. All right, arm circles forward, everyone. 10 forward. Here we go. Slowly, all the way up and around. Excellent. All right, and backwards, everyone. Again, feeling the joy of your arms moving through space. You controlling your physical body. All through the most marvelous supercomputer in the universe, your mind. All right, good. Hands on your hips, everyone. Bend your knees and side stretch. Let's do 5 on each side. All right, excellent. Okay, let's twist our bodies now. Twist. Again, 5 on each side. Feeling the joy of moving our midsection of our body. Just the middle point of our body. All right, excellent. Okay, let's do 5 push-ups, everyone. Our best 5 push-ups. Here we go. All the way down, all the way up. The best you can. All right. And 5 sit-ups. Best 5 sit-ups ever. Here we go. All right, and stand up, everyone. Let's do 5 squats. Here we go. All the way down, all the way up. Down. Looking straight ahead. Feet flat on the floor. Excellent. Let's do 6 lunges, 3 on each side. Alternating legs. Arms out. Back straight. Good. All right. 10-second plank, belly's knees off the ground. Hold it there for 10. Excellent job, everyone. Okay, stand up. And reach for the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are, on your toes. Here we go. Reaching and holding it there for 10 seconds. Again, feeling your body, every part of it working to achieve the goal of holding this for 10 seconds. Excellent. And reach for your toes, straight knees. Go as far as you can. Remember, you may not touch your toes, that's okay. Reaching is the most important thing. Going for it. Doing your best without hurting yourself. Keep those knees straight. Excellent. And come on up. And let's balance. Grab one leg. Bend the other knee if you have to. And hold it there for 10 seconds. Keep fighting to keep your balance if you have to. Keep thinking. Channeling your thoughts to keep your balance. Excellent. All right, and switch. Again, pulling your leg back, feeling the stretch on the front of the thigh. Bend the other knee if you have to. Remember, if you lose your balance, you fall, you get right back up. Never give up, never stay down. Always do your best to get right back up. All right, here we go. Let's hug our knee now. Hugging the knee, pulling it up. Once again, thinking about what we're doing. Trying to find that balance point. Bend the other knee if you have to. Hold it for 10 seconds. And switch the other one, slowly coming up. And find that balance. Feel your body working to find that balance. Alright, excellent. Holding it for 10. Okay, and good. Let's sit down, everyone, and reach for our toes. Straight knees. Hold it there for 10 seconds. Again, thinking about our breathing. One great breath in at a time. One great thought in at a time. Alright, let's make a V shape with our legs and reach for the floor as far away from our body as we can. Just reach. Reach as far as you can go away from your body. And reach for one side, hold it for 10 seconds. And good, the other side, 10 seconds. Again, if you don't touch your toe, it's okay, just reach. Reach, always go for it, always do your best. If you feel a pain, make sure you come back a little bit. Okay, and feet together. Gently push your knees down with your elbows. Hold it for 10 seconds again. And always remember that breathing. Good air in. And bad air out. Good. And one leg forward, one leg back. Keep the knee on the ground. Go as far back as you can. Hold it there for 10 seconds. Alright, and switch to the other side. Again, keep that knee on the ground so you feel the pull on the front of your thigh. Doesn't matter if you're not all the way back with your back, it's okay. Alright, good. And roll onto your belly. Push the floor and look up at the ceiling. Cobra stretch. Here we go. Hold it for 10 seconds. Or look up at the sky if you're outdoors. Alright, and legs crossed again, everyone. Back straight. Eyes closed. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And now, using our powerful imagination to see what we will do when that music goes on. I'm going to play some of my favorite songs today. For each song, I'm going to hold an exercise position. For me today, I'm going to visualize and see in my mind holding the lunge position for each leg for the duration of the first song. For the second song, I'll be holding the sit-up position as long as I can, for as long as I can, but I will continue right to the end of the song. How about you? Play your 2 favorite songs, or 2 songs that change your energy state so you can be your true great self and motivate yourself. Or you can listen to my music, but whatever you do, see in your mind right now the 2 exercises you've chosen to do, or stretches, or movements, or dances, or something that you want to do to work on your body safely when that music goes on. See it right now, clearly in your mind. Because you were born to do that. You were born to see it in your mind and make it real with your eyes open in the world. All right, here we go, determination, here we go. For me, it's lunge position. Here I go. Try to keep my back straight, keep that knee off the ground. If you're doing the same, again, do your best. Hold it there as long as you can. I'm going to try to hold this leg for half the song and then hold the other side for half the song. And if you want, yeah, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth, as Pharrell sings over here right now. I think happiness is the truth. We were born to be happy, all of us, no matter what. For me, there's no greater happiness than working on my mind and body all the time, wherever I go in the gym of life. And I hope the same for you. But remember, you were born to be happy, to be free, to be peaceful, kind, and loving, always. I'm happy right now. I hope you're happy right now. Because if you can be happy now, you can be happy forever. Wherever you are, no matter what. All right. Whew. Let's do the other leg. Shake it a little bit. Don't let anybody or anything ever bring you down. You were born to be happy. That's up to you. Always up to you. No matter how hard things are, always remember your determination. Your power to determine, to make the positive, accurate, truthful, winning, loving choice. Always. To be good. To be your best for others, no matter what. Even when things are uncomfortable, like right now, this is getting uncomfortable for me. But I get to keep going. I get to keep using my determination. Because I'm happy, I love it. And I want happiness for you and everyone, the whole universe. And I pray for that every single day. Whew. Song's not over. I gotta keep going. Let's do the other leg. Let's do the other one. Yeah. Let's clap along, yeah. Happiness is the truth for sure. Here we go. And switch the other leg. There we go. Find that balance. Let's go, everyone. Clap along wherever you are. Happiness is the truth. Let's go. Thank you, Pharrell. You were born with happiness. You're made of happiness and truth. Oh. All right, I'm proud of your effort, wherever you are. Let's go.
Kira and Zach are collaborating.
All right, next song, everyone. Let's go. V-sits for me, V-sit up for me position. How about you? What are you gonna work on? Let's see. Whatever it is, do your best. Here we go. If you want to try what I'm doing, go for it. Let's go, everyone, together. If you got your own exercise, your own movement you're doing, go for it. It is a bright, sunshiny day where I am, right here, right now, doing this video for you, for all of us, for myself. And I hope the same for you. But more importantly, I hope that it's bright, clear, and sunny, always in your mind, right now, wherever you are. Because that's always up to us. Oh, I love it. I love working on being our best in whatever we do. No matter how hard it might be, no matter how challenging. There should always be nothing but blue sky of thoughts in our mind. Clearness, clarity. We can do it. It's up to us. We were born to do it. To let those dark clouds pass, those thoughts, those negative thoughts. And remember the truth of what we are, who we are. Whew. I love it. I can see clearly right now. I know I got more. Here we go. Song's not over. Let's go, Mr. Francis. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Nick. Here we go. Keep going, everyone, wherever you are. Keep going. Let's go. This is the best effort ever we're giving, right? The best effort, no matter what. The way we do this is the way we'll do everything. We fall, we get right back up. Still not over. Song's not over. Let's go. Keep going. We fall, we get right back up. Never give up. Never. Never give up until it's a bright, sunshiny day in your mind, and we've done the best to help other people with their mind. It's possible. All through your determination. Let's go, everybody. Oh, great effort. And here we are again. Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, deep breaths in through our noses and out through our mouths. The way we began. The way it all begins, always. Always with our thoughts. Our powerful minds, which are always subject to our control, no matter how hard it's been to control them. We know the truth, don't we? We saw it today in our effort. We see it every day in life, in the gym of life. We know that we have the power to determine what thoughts we will act upon, and therefore we also have that power to determine what feelings we will allow to flow out and through us. Because our feelings are ultimately connected to our thinking. And if we control our breath with our thoughts, we can always control our thoughts and therefore our feelings. To learn and to grow and to be mind healthy and mind wealthy, peaceful, kind, loving, free and successful in whatever we do, wherever we are, no matter what. That's why we are already, whether we know it or not, determined nation. A people, a nation that always has the power to determine, to think, and to be positively, undoubtedly, unwaveringly loving, no matter what. Great job today, everyone. I love you so much. Another great time here together. This is probably one of our last for the summer. I hope you enjoy every moment, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Whether you're in a classroom, at work, at home, wherever you are. Enjoy every moment. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you, to continue growing our minds and our bodies together. But remember the truth, no matter what. Wherever you go, wherever you are already in the gym of life, where you can always grow your mind and your body. I love you. Thank you so much for always helping me grow my mind and my body. And may today and everything we've done together, our time together, and wherever you are, with whoever you're with, may that always be an expression of who and what we really are. I love you, everyone. Have a great summer. I will see and connect with you as soon as the time comes. I love you all. Guys, in our top 10 rules for success with Oprah Winfrey, today she shares with us rule number 9, which is stay grounded. So as we're on this path, and as she's been on her path, what's helped her is she's always had this centered focus, and the centered focus on her being. And as she's focused on what she really is and how she's developing herself, her very essence, her core, her being, that also fuels her compassion for others, because she understands what it's like to work on yourself and how hard it is. So let's remember that. As you're working on yourself, as you're trying to become the greatest version of you, remember that those around you are the same. We're all the same. We're all going through those struggles. So if we come from a place of compassion, empathy, and understanding for those around us, we build that also within us. Whatever we become, whatever we are, we share that with others. We help them become their true self too. Have a great day, everyone. I hope this helps.
Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Top 10 Rules of Success. Today, we'll learn from the richest man in modern history, Elon Musk, and how to learn anything you want, never get distracted, and solve big problems. Enjoy.
I think you really want to try to learn at every opportunity, and it's great to read books and talk to interesting people and learn as much as possible. I suppose it was I don't know, Plato or someone who said, or maybe attributed it to Socrates, if I know anything, it's that I know nothing. And so essentially, just taking that attitude that really we wish to be less bullish over time. But I think it's actually, if you accept the premise that you're a fool, then which we are all a fool to some degree, then I think that, and you wish to be less bullish, then I think that's a good approach, and this avoids, that maximizes your feedback loop and your ability to learn. As soon as you start thinking you know too much, and people can't teach you things, that's when you start getting very dumb. I always try to learn new things and being able to talk to interesting people, and you can often learn more by the questions that are asked than the answers that are given.
Rule number 2, don't get distracted.
So let's say you have to read an incredibly long email from your boss that you have to finish before the big...
Our primary goal is to create the technology necessary to get people to Mars, in the absence of which, it's somewhat academic. So we don't want to get too distracted from our primary mission of we got to make it at least possible to go to Mars, and we want to do so as soon as possible, and make access to Mars as widely available as possible, as affordable as possible, so that if somebody wants to go, they can. So that's our primary mission. There are many good causes in the world, but we got to be careful that we do not try to take on too many. There are many noble missions, but we have to pick our battles and say, okay, let's just make sure we get this done, because nobody else is doing it. And if SpaceX doesn't do it, I'm not sure how it will happen. I think this is at least right now, SpaceX is the only hope. So we've got to get this done, and it's far from done. We've got a long way to go. Starlink, in terms of providing internet connectivity to people that really don't have it, or it's very expensive, I think will be helpful in empowering a lot of people who are disempowered today. So I think that's a good thing too.
Rule number 3, be optimistic.
I'm generally of the view, philosophically, that it's better to be optimistic and wrong occasionally than pessimistic and right. I think you want to look on the bright side of things, and I'm a little worried that young people today maybe sometimes are a little pessimistic about the future. But I'd like to just assure people that so long as we are not complacent, we will solve the climate crisis, and we will solve these issues. We also need to take them seriously and work hard to solve them. They will be solved, and that people should be optimistic about the future and work to make that optimistic future real. They say that the best way to predict the future is to create it. And so if you take the actions necessary for there to be a good future, then we will have a good future. So I'd encourage people to be optimistic, take the actions that will create a good future, and we will have one.
Rule number 4, create something fun.
What was going through your mind? How amazed were you to see your roadster up there with Starman just cruising along with the Blue Planet? And how long will we be getting live views, do you think, from the car?
Well, I think it looks so ridiculous and impossible. And you can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly. We'd have way better CGI if it was fake. The colors all look kind of weird in space. There's no atmospheric occlusion. like everything looks too crisp. But we didn't really test any of those materials for, is it space hardened or whatever, So it just has the same seats that like a normal car has. It's just literally a normal car in space, which I kind of like the absurdity of that. And if you look closely, on the dashboard, there's a tiny roadster with a tiny spaceman. So, because Hot Wheels made a Hot Wheels roadster, and a friend of mine suggested, hey, why don't you put that Hot Wheels roadster with a tiny spaceman on the, in the car too? Like, that'd be cool. Sure. So we did that. I mean, it's kind of silly and fun, but I think that's, silly, fun things are important. And normally for a new rocket, they'd launch like a block of concrete or something like that. I mean, that's so boring. And I think that's just the imagery of it is something that's going to get people excited around the world. And it's still tripping me out. I mean, I'm tripping balls here.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
Rule number 5, solve big problems.
I think AI safety is a really big deal. And we should have some regulatory agency that is overseeing AI safety. But there is not yet currently any such thing. And just generally any kind of regulatory agency done by the government will usually takes years to put in place. After the population collapse issue, I think AI safety is probably the second biggest threat to the future of civilization. Yeah, like I said, I'm not quite sure what to do with it. I mean, Tesla is arguably the world's biggest robot maker, because we have basically semi-autonomous cars that will ultimately be fully autonomous. And we are building a humanoid robot that will be basically like the car, but with legs. And I kind of held off on doing that for a while because, I certainly don't want to hasten the AI apocalypse. But clearly, if you look at Boston Dynamics and like those humanoid robots are going to happen. So they're either going to happen with or without Tesla. So it's like Tesla got a little bit more, a lot more ability to ensure robotics safety and AI. And I will try my best to do that.
Rule number 6, be confident.
My question's about failure. So I was just wondering, what are you trying at the moment, or what do you think you'll attempt in the future that you're not expecting to succeed at?
Well, I think I'm going to stay on electric cars and rockets for a while. It was actually never my intent to run Tesla. Because running 2 companies is quite a burden, actually. Sometimes I run into people who think, oh, if you're CEO of the company, then they sort of imagine themselves, if they were CEO of the company, they would grant themselves lots of vacation and do lots of fun things. And it's like, that doesn't quite work that way. What you actually get is a distillation of the worst things going on in the company. It's like, anyway, so the idea of taking on something more is very frightening. But I mean, possibly at some point in the future, certainly not the near term, there are, I think there's an opportunity to create an electric jet, essentially. And I do think one could create an electric jet that is really exciting, something that would be supersonic, vertical takeoff and landing, pure electric, and just a big leap forward. I think that's a distinct. I'm quite confident it's doable, provided that there's a rough doubling of the energy density in batteries or capacitors. Or, basically around the 500 watt-hours per kilogram level is where it starts to make sense. And then there's, I do think there's the possibility of kind of a fifth mode of transport, which I've talked about, kind of mentioned tangentially, which is like I call kind of the hyperloop, I'd like to sort of publish something about that maybe in the next month or two, once Tesla's at steady state production, and I want to flesh it out a little bit so that and pre-address some of the rebuttals that people will come up with, rather than just sort of put it out there and then have the rebuttal occur and have an unaddressed rebuttal. But I guess a way to think of it is it's like a cross between a Concorde and a railgun.
Rule number 7, seize new opportunities.
Suppose to be 20 years old right now, where would you start your path from?
I mean, if I was literally just, if I was just a 20-year-old right now in 2021, if I was 21 in 2021,
from where would you start?
Well, I mean, assuming that I'm still a technologist, then I think there's a lot of opportunity in synthetic RNA. The vaccines that were developed, apart from the ones that were done by BioNTech and Moderna, are really the beginning of what I call digital medicine, where medicine is software. And I think that's, I would say, what's the single biggest opportunity I see right now? It's probably synthetic RNA and the potential for revolutionizing medicine in that way. There's also artificial intelligence. There's one of my favorites which is tunnels. We need a lot of tunnels to address the traffic in major cities. And then there's obviously the continued electrification of transport with aircraft and boats, in addition to cars. Let's see. There's many other things that will come up as well. So I think we live at a very exciting time. If you look at the whole history of the world and humanity, this is a time of the greatest technological growth in history. And it seems to be accelerating.
Rule number 8, deploy advanced technology.
Whether you're building dynamic network models or forecasting real-world behavior, Neo4j's new...
What is it that makes Starlink different to what's gone on in decades beforehand, Elon, but also with your new competition as well? What is it that makes you different?
Yes, well, when I gave a talk a few years ago about Starlink, I was asked for what's my goal for Starlink? And I said, well, our goal is not to go bankrupt. Because as you point out, every other low Earth orbit communications constellation ever done has gone bankrupt. Now, some of them have emerged from bankruptcy, but let's just say the original owners did not benefit from those constellations. So, they've either gone bankrupt after most of them went bankrupt before even deploying their constellation fully, and even the ones that did deploy their constellation, they still went bankrupt. Now they did subsequently emerge from bankruptcy, but and obviously companies like Iridium and Orbcomm are doing reasonably well today, but not for the original owners. So step number one for Starlink is don't go bankrupt. That is, and then if we succeed in not going bankrupt, then that'll be great, and we can move on from there. But I do think from a technology standpoint, Starlink is quite different from prior LEO constellations in that the technology that we're deploying is very advanced. What happens often with space-based technology, somewhat ironically, is that it tends to be older technology that exists on the ground. So companies generally have been very conservative, so they've said, well, we want technology that's proven to work on the ground, and then we have to test it for years to make sure it's going to work in the vacuum of space with a higher radiation load and that kind of thing. And so the technology that's generally been launched into orbit has been older technology. And we took the opposite approach and said, we're going to make technology that is, in some ways at least, more advanced than what is on the ground. And we're just going to take a chance. And so we have what's probably fair to say are the most sophisticated, the most advanced phased array technologies that, to the best of knowledge, no one has. It's not even at that sort of military level. It has this level of sophistication with phased array technology.
Rule number 9: be an innovator.
What did you learn? What did Falcon Heavy teach you?
Taught me like crazy things can come true. Because he said I didn't really think this would work. Because when I see the rocket lift off, I see like 1,000 things that could not work, and it's amazing when they do. And I was really seeing the two boosters land synchronized, really just like the simulation. It makes me think there really could be quite a scalable approach. You could imagine large numbers of those just coming in, landing, taking off, landing, doing many flights per day. So I think it gives me a lot of faith for our next architecture, the sort of the interplanetary spaceship. You can have different names for it, but BFR is kind of the code name. And it gives me confidence that BFR is really quite workable. But I was actually looking at the side boosters, and they're pretty big. They're 16 stories tall, 60-foot leg span. But we need to be way bigger than that. So I think it's given me a lot of confidence that we can make the BFR design work. Yeah, it's. I have tremendous confidence, obviously, in the SpaceX team. So I think we can really do this a lot, and keep advancing the technology to achieve full and rapid reusability, which would have a profound effect on the future. And one of the interesting things about, say, Falcon Heavy versus Falcon 9 is that Falcon Heavy has the same level of expendability as Falcon 9. So if you look at, say, the price of Falcon 9 is $60 million, Falcon Heavy is 90, even though it's got 3 times as much capability. Because in both cases, the only thing that's expended is the upper stage. We're going to start recovering the fairings, the big nose cone. We're going to recover that, recover the boosters. And so there's really, the cost difference really between a Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy is minor.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is have fun.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
people are going to get checked out and the cars are going to drive themselves into. What do you think about the ML human hybrids that we're kind of, embracing right now? How long are we going to have these crossover periods? I know you believe FSD is around the corner. Do you think this is really a problem, or are we going to teach people to deal with ML?
Well, I mean, the transition period to new technology is always a little bumpy.
Fair enough.
And, but I think we published the safety stats, like basically miles driven on autopilot and miles driven manually. And this, I mean, it's an order of magnitude different. So, like, people can say, oh, well, you're playing with the statistics. I'm like, listen, we're just saying miles driven on autopilot, miles not driven on autopilot, and there's a factor of 10 difference. So, I mean, even if we were, like, we're not fiddling with the statistics, that's just, this is not subtle, is what I'm saying. It's not subtle. The truth is that people are actually not great at driving these 2-ton death machines, and people get tired, and they get drunk, and they get distracted, and they text, and they do all sorts of things they shouldn't do. And then the cars, they crash, basically. Now, when we were embarking on the autonomy front, someone told me a thing that's quite true, which is even if you, for argument's sake, reduce fatalities by 90% with autonomy, the 10% that do die with autonomy are still going to sue you.
Right.
The 90% that are living don't even know that that's the reason they're alive. Nonetheless, I've had many conversations with the Tesla Autopilot Full Self-Driving team, who are just an outstanding group of people, and saying, like, listen, guys, it is better to pursue, like, the reality of doing the right thing matters more than the perception of doing the right thing. And as long as we are confident that we're doing the right thing, even if we are criticized and sued and all that, we should nonetheless do the right thing and not care about simply the perception of the right thing.
You want to make something beautiful. I mean, you want to trigger whatever fundamental aesthetic algorithms are, like in your brain, you have, I think, some intrinsic elements that represent beauty, and that trigger the emotion of appreciation of beauty in your mind. And I think that these are actually relatively consistent among people. I mean, not completely. Some people not everyone likes the same thing, but there's a lot of commonality. It is important to combine aesthetic design with functionality. Like the thing that's, like, if you say, like, what was really hard about, say, the Model S or the Model X, was to combine aesthetics and utility. So to balance the two. You can make a car look very good by giving it sort of certain proportions, like making it sort of low and slim, but if you do that, the utility is significantly affected. To make a sports car look good is relatively easy, but to make a sedan look good or an SUV look good is quite difficult. Really pay attention to the little details, the nuances of design and shape and form and function, and just the way it looks in different lights. And
when something's off, the little thing, how do you experience that?
It drives me bananas. Yeah. I mean, the problem is, like, if you can train yourself to pay attention to the tiny details. I think almost anyone can. Although this is a very much double-edged sword, because then you see all the little details, and then little things drive you crazy. But like most people they don't consciously see the small details, but they do subconsciously see them. Like you sort of, your mind takes in a gestalt of the overall, an overall impression, and you know if something is appealing or not, even though you may not be able to point out exactly why. And it's the summation of these many small details.
So most of us experience it as oh, I think that's ugly, or I think that's beautiful, or like, wow, that's elegant, but
Yeah.
can't break it down. You mentioned something in passing, like you can train yourself in this, though?
Yeah, you can train yourself, I think. You can make yourself pay attention to why. Essentially bring the subconscious awareness into conscious awareness.
God, I wish I could do that. How do you do that?
just pay really close attention.
Almost like a meditation on the object, and trying to find the details, like, why do I not like this? Is that what?
Yeah, just look closely and carefully. Physics training is a very good training.
Good morning, guys. I want to share a story with you today to highlight how we can still laugh, live, and love our way to infinite mind wealth. And it is this. There was an altercation, not an altercation, there was a situation with my family, between two family members, and you could see that they were both trying desperately to be understood. And I laugh inwardly now because I always make this mistake too, and I want us to remember it. But we can laugh about it because it's difficult. The idea of trying to understand somebody first when you are emotional and you're trying to get your point across and you want to be understood, that's very difficult. And we can laugh at it when it's done, because it just shows you that even though it's very difficult, it's so important. And if we're willing to do it, we can see great results in our relationship. So I was inwardly chuckling at what happened between two of my family members, but I've done that before, and I thought we could just laugh about it. And remember, always seek to understand first. Have a great day.